Banana for scale, I think, is one of the most widespread memes ever. In fact, I think it's so widespread, I don't know if it could even be considered a meme anymore. I think it's just basic lingo nowadays. Banana for scale, of course, is when people post something online and they place a banana on or next to it or somewhere in the vicinity so you can tell how big the object they're presenting is based on the banana. Literally using a banana for the scale. My absolute favorite use of this meme is when people post pictures of the world or like NASA images and they're like the size of our globe, banana for scale. That absolutely kills me. I think that shit's so funny. And this was very casually mentioned in a YouTube video I was watching, which sent me down this thought process of where did this even come from? Why did we start using bananas as scale? And why does everyone kind of know it's kind of a joke, but at the same time everyone uses it completely seriously? Now, when I was lying there in bed thinking about this, my very first thought was Facebook Marketplace. Basically, my thought was somebody was trying to sell something, probably on Facebook Marketplace, put a banana next to it for scale, and then everyone thought that's very funny. That was my original thought. Facebook Marketplace, basically. And then I decided to actually look it up. Interestingly enough, the very first use of banana for scale was not a Facebook Marketplace post. In fact, I don't think it was somebody actually even selling anything. The very first instance that I could find, and a lot of other places like Know Your Meme can find, was in 2005 on a blog post where someone was posting about a TV they had and taped a banana to the front of the TV in order to accurately show how big the TV was. In the post, they say that they're using a banana specifically because they're moving and they can't find their tape measure. Ironically enough, in this post, they actually do know the size of the TV, but leave the banana for interest. So the first use of banana for scale wasn't even a true banana for scale. The blog opens talking about how they're using the banana for scale since they don't know the size of the TV. A few sentences later, they do know the size of the TV, but leave the banana anyway because it's funny. So unfortunately, my guess was incorrect. Facebook Marketplace was not the very first use of banana for scale. However, it is the second known use of banana for scale. There might have been a few more in between, but they either didn't get very popular online or were not posted online. But in 2010, somebody posted a safe on Facebook Marketplace with a banana next to it for scale. Of course, this was to show that it was a relatively small safe, but people found this hilarious. And supposedly, so many more comments were about the banana rather than the actual safe itself. Something I did find very interesting is that even though this original safe post was posted to Facebook Marketplace, for some reason a lot of people on Reddit assume that it came from Reddit. A lot of people on Reddit have claimed that banana for scale comes from Reddit, specifically the post about the safe. It doesn't, it comes from Facebook Marketplace, but Reddit has decided that this is a Reddit joke. Hello, I am currently editing this video and I come to you with some updated information. So I was looking back at that Reddit post that I originally found when looking at this meme, and I said something in the video about how Reddit claims that it came from Reddit. Rereading the post, technically that's not actually claimed. It is kind of implied though. The person asking the question specifically asks if it came from Reddit, which nobody in the replies corrects them on. Nobody's like, actually no, it did not come from Reddit. In fact, the OP's reply is like, of course a Redditor would know the answer, which does not specifically say that Reddit thinks it came from Reddit, but it seems that OP at least does seem to think that it comes from Reddit, and nobody has corrected them. The person giving them that answer doesn't mention that it was actually Facebook, even though it was specifically asked if it comes from Reddit. So I can't say whether or not that person who's answering the question thinks it comes from Reddit or not, but it does seem like OP assumes it comes from Reddit and nobody has corrected that. And that does make it a little bit confusing because when I was doing my first research, this is the first thing that pops up, and it does look like it's implied that Reddit came up with this, and it takes further research. Granted, not that much further research, but still some further research to learn that no, Reddit did not come up with this. My guess is that's because Google bought Reddit basically, and is using all of their information in order to feed their AI. So I'm assuming that Reddit searches are coming up first when things are being searched on Google, rather than like Know Your Meme, which would be a much more, maybe not qualified, but a little bit of a better source than just Reddit by itself. So nobody specifically says it comes from Reddit. It seems OP assumes it's from Reddit, and nobody is correcting that information. So that's me correcting myself from earlier in this video. It's not from Reddit, and maybe some people on Reddit think it does, but it was never outright claimed as far as I'm aware. Just wanted to clear up that, and I wish Google wouldn't put fucking Reddit replies as the very first answer, and definitely would stop using it to fuel their stupid AI thing that doesn't fucking work. Anyways, back to the rest of the video. Now, obviously not all of Reddit thinks this, but it is really interesting to me that a lot of the rest of the places I was looking at very clearly said that this was originally a Facebook post, but on Reddit specifically, it is claimed to be originally a Reddit post. Of course, since then it has blown up, mostly as an inside joke, until the point where it is now basically a common phrase that everyone everyone knows and understands. It's used in memes a lot, again, like the whole banana for scale on the world meme. I absolutely love it. I think that's hilarious. I do also think it's very funny some of the offshoots of this, most notably guitar for temperature, somebody putting their guitar over a frozen pool. I think that's very funny. I wish this had expanded. I wish they had honestly gone completely and fully with the bit and just dunked their guitar in a sopping wet pool. Obviously, I don't think people should be destroying their instruments just for a joke. I do think that would be funny though. But then again, I also find however, my sense of humor might be dead, because some of my favorite videos are mocking those how cold is it in Wisconsin or some northern state where they throw a pot of boiling water and it instantly freezes. Somebody in a much more mild climate type state, mostly California, will throw a pot of not at all boiling water out the window and nothing happens, and they're like, that's how cold it is in California. I also find those videos very funny. So banana for scale is such an interesting part of internet history, and I love that it is now completely mainstream. There's plenty of stuff that happens to that started out on the internet and now are just everyday use, but I just feel like this one is just innocuous enough to where you could say this to an older relative of yours and they wouldn't be confused, and I love that. I think that's very fun, and I cannot wait until this is like put in like English textbooks as known idioms or well-known idioms, or those translation books so there's like common English phrases, and I can't wait until that happens. I absolutely love it when something on the internet grows a life of its own outside the internet, especially when it's something so wholesome and there's literally nothing to back it up. It was just somebody that decided to use a banana because they didn't have a tape measure. I absolutely love this little bit of internet history. I love a lot of internet history, especially since I wasn't allowed on the internet growing up. Being able to like go back in time and figure out these things firsthand rather than having nostalgia about them is really interesting to me. And the information in this video might not be new to a lot of people, but I think it's interesting and I wanted to talk about it. And I hope you all enjoyed me talking about it, and I really hope that this continues to be so widely used that it ends up being permanently added to our written record, because I just think that's so fun and it's so much better than like a fucking skibbity toilet card game, which is a real thing I saw when I was at the store the other day. But anyways, that's gonna be it for me in this video. Just a simple little thing talking about something that I found really interesting. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.